Hello and welcome back to Blackpool. After two great singles games, two very different games, one a little bit more drawn out and one ridiculously quick, the last one we saw just before the interval. It's the turn of the teams now. We've got two semi-finals coming up this evening. First up, we've got Ireland and India, and then later on tonight, England against Australia. Delighted to be joined in the studio by Carl Sutton, the winner of our epic first match. Congratulations, obviously. Must be delighted to have got through.
Oh yeah, over the moon. It was a battle, but I'm just happy to get over the finish line.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed a tough match. Phil's the kind of guy that just never goes away, like he just kept turning up again.
No, I started off really well. I was 3-0 in front, and then, as expected, he's came back at me. Then I've gone 5-3, he's come back again. I was just saying to myself, just keep going. Every time he comes back at me, just go again. Just keep pushing. And luckily, I came out on top on this occasion.
And how does it feel? I know you've won lots of other stuff, but to get your first World Championship final must be pretty exciting.
Well, this is it, isn't it? This is the one that everybody that plays pool wants to win. I've got that chance tomorrow, so fingers crossed. That'll be my day.
Let's hope so. Before that, Ireland and India. Let's get the players into the arena.
Team semi-final this evening. This is the first semi-final. Now, ladies and gentlemen, could you all please be upstanding? The first team to enter the arena this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for India. And their opponents, let's hear it for Ireland. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's wish these two teams the very best of luck.
Well, we saw two great singles matches earlier, but you can hear already the atmosphere for the team matches. Nothing quite like it. You've been out there lots of times with England, Cole. What does it feel like when you step out for these first frames?
Oh, the atmosphere in the semi-finals is electric. Obviously, there's quite a good atmosphere during the group games. The Irish have been very loud this year, singing their own version of the Will Griggs on Fire. Yeah, I expect them to be very loud. They got great team spirit. That's going to be tough for the Indians. Irish have got a very strong team here this year, very experienced on the big table. Should be a good game.
Yeah, we seem to have seen a lot of the Irish in recent times. I mean, as you say, the team spirit, lots of the teams are pretty close. I mean, all the England guys look to get on really well, but I mean, the volume of the Irish team is quite unique, isn't it?
That is, yeah. That's always, no matter who they seem to have here playing for them each and every year, the team spirit from Ireland, to me, is probably the best from any country. They're all behind each other 100%, every shot, every match. I think that can potentially that helps a lot. That gives them a boost on the table, knowing that your teammates are fully behind you.
Yeah, we've seen some great Irish teams over the years. As you say, like it's not necessarily the same lineup, but still the same quality.
No, very strong this year. I think sometimes you'll have a group of players, but then other ones won't be here. I think from who they've got possibly available, I think they've pretty much got everybody. Maybe other than Dempsey, he's the only standout name. Everybody else for this Irish team is here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the difficulty for the overseas teams. I mean, a bit obviously not quite so bad for the Irish. They haven't got so far to come, but the teams that come from places like Australia, it's a pretty tough ask to get everyone over.
Yeah, which they have this year, as you'll see later when they play us. They have got a very strong team here this year. They all sort of seem to come together because it costs so much money to come.
Yeah, but you can't really fail to have good team spirit because you've travelled 24 hours plus across the world.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they'll be up for that tonight. That should be another great game.
And well, here, Hiten Patel for India got things underway. Good break and looks to be doing nicely with these Reds.
Yeah, nice split on the Reds. It's just all about the cue ball. It shouldn't be missing any pot from here. And as I say that, he has let it go a little bit.
Yeah,
just a bit of stretch and play the plant.
It's about the most awkward place to reach, but he's found a way.
Yeah, he's okay. Just drop this in, leave the yellow leave the red even, where the other red was.
It's a dream start really. When you only get one frame, you just want some nice opportunity to pot a few balls.
Yeah. It's very important to take your opportunities, especially this sort of opportunity. Early doors as well. Stamp your authority on the game. Show Ireland that you're up for the challenge. Cushion first.
Very unique kind of pressure this playing in the team competition. I just think it's much harder. I mean, you have the support of all your teammates, but just having this one opportunity like that to make a good impression.
100%. You're not playing for yourself. You're playing for everybody that is standing there on your team. It's a whole new pressure. Oh, he's missed.
And that pressure is exactly what caused him to miss that.
Yeah, he's gone out of position there. He's played cushion first on his second last red. Left himself a bit of an awkward angle. Ideally, he'd have wanted it straight so he could just run through and play the black into this corner here. But he's had to stun down for the black into the centre, and that's he's took his eye off the pot there.
Much to the relief of Robert Brady for Ireland. First chance to see him this year, although certainly not the first chance overall. He's been a stalwart of the Irish team for a long time now.
Yeah, been about many years. It's Robert, very passionate. Yeah, just bump his bad ball out, lay the snooker. Oh, he's been a bit unfortunate. I think that, the yellow he's knocked out has just gone and sat next to the other one up in the top left.
Yeah, it didn't really matter where it went, but he just wanted it somewhere it was possible. That's not really done it. I mean, obviously, Hitton's still not in a good position, but it slightly reduces the immediate pressure because Robert's got a bit of work to do. It's going to be hard not to leave Robert some kind of shot here.
Yeah, he's just got to make sure he hits the red for a start. I mean, that's the most important thing, just so he doesn't give his 2 visits away. But then Robert's going to be left on something. He can either play attack or it's a good hit, but he's knocked it safe.
Yeah, the trouble is, even if Robert can't go for one of these yellows, it's an easy safety shot to get him up the other end of the table again.
If one of these yellows did go, I could see him potting one and then playing the snooker up the top and bumping out the 2 bad yellows that are stuck together.
Yeah, I mean, actually, they're in quite a good spot because you can play off those and get a snooker up the top.
There's a big wall there to hide behind. Just play that a bit aside. There we go.
Yeah, he's had to turn that over. That's a good shot.
Now let's see what he decides to do. I would be quite surprised if he decided to attack.
Yeah, I don't see much point passing the tee down this end. They're providing a good wall. May as well, you would think, move the bump out the difficult one.
Yeah, he'd be then relying on getting a good angle, either on the one up the top next to the two, or the one down here to try and get a split.
I mean, I hesitate ever to criticise someone for playing the positive option, but this just seemed like such a simple safety option.
No, I suppose if he does land bad on the one up the top left, he could then pot that and then roll behind the two and freeing them both up. I was quite surprised that he chose this way though. I thought he'd have opened him up and hid behind all the yellows. So he's not got the right angle there, so he will be having to play a containing shot, a snooker.
I suppose one advantage of this is that if Hitton then hits the red, he's bound to leave one of the yellows, whereas with those two in the middle of the table, perhaps there was a chance he wouldn't leave a clear pot.
Possibly. You'd still expect him to leave something on. Plus, he'd want to be hitting the red with a little bit of pace to get it out. I mean, if you just trickle up to it, you're still leaving it safe. Right, so there's the pot. Now he'll be... he should be laying up behind.
Pretty steady player, Robert Brady. He's got so much experience. He's not somebody to rush into a silly shot.
Yeah, there we go. But he's knocked it on. He's knocked it on the cushion. He'd have wanted that across the table more. I feel.
Yeah, I mean the trouble is if Hitton does get out of this favourably, he might not leave a shot at the open one, and then suddenly Robert's in a more difficult position. But still, you'd obviously much rather be yellow.
Yeah, I just feel playing the snooker earlier after he'd potted the one into the centre, that was just giving him more options to
absolutely.
be guaranteed a shot if Hitton just.
Well, and when it comes to eventually clearing up, it's easier to have several balls on the table.
He's got it hit. And he's not on the one. He's not on the one he's left.
No, well, that's a pretty good shot. Well, it's a pretty good shot save that he's going to be snookered again when he comes back to the table. I suppose actually now Robert can promote the more difficult one.
But that gives Hitton a chance. If he comes off the back rail and pumps this red from behind and flukes it, it's a chance he shouldn't have really had.
Yeah, I mean, you always benefit at this level, particularly not to let people have a go if at all possible.
No. Oh, he's left it.
Wow, I mean, I know it would have been a good snooker if he got it, but that was an unnecessary risk, surely.
I mean, I don't understand. Has he played to get behind the other yellow?
Well, I think he has, but he could have played a snooker behind the black, which would have been much safer.
I think you just guarantee the snooker there, get it behind the black. Just ask the question. You don't need to be tight up against the other
yellow.
Well,
in fact, he hadn't even got the yellow out. Wow, well, what a let-off for him, for Patel.
There we go, first blood to the Indians.
Disappointing mistake from Ireland. Got back into the frame and then threw it away.
Yeah, Robert will be disappointed there. But as you can see, the Indians full of spirit. They've stolen that one, really.
Yeah, particularly when it's the first one. And these, of course, are shorter matches. Nearly you were playing first to 10, but only first to 8 here.
Yeah, the races are shorter now. And you will likely see a few more errors on this 8-foot table than what you will on the smaller one.
Yeah, I mean, especially as these players, they've obviously all had a practice session, but they're not going to have, a lot of them aren't going to have played a lot on this kind of table.
No, the lights, the crowd, the bigger table, how fast it is, and the pressure that all comes into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's noticeably very slippery in your very first frame. You tried to play a shot around a couple of cushions where the side just didn't take off. Sort of shiny cushion.
I can't remember.
Sorry, you potted a very good black afterwards.
Oh, right.
In your very first frame, you had to cut the black to the top right.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah. I had a feeling that that shot wasn't on, but I still played it, as you do sometimes.
It ended up looking good, so it was okay.
Yeah, you try and get a bit nervous. I was just trying to get a bit closer to it.
Yeah, well, yes, understandable.
And the Irish had gone in off there. and we have Nishant Bharat for India. I think he's from these neck of the woods, so he hasn't had to travel too far. Lives Lancashire, I believe.
That certainly helps. I mean, there are some teams that have come from the Australians I mentioned, but the team from Mauritius and the Reunion Islands, they're pretty tricky places to get to.
Yeah. Yeah, they've come a long way. The Mauritians have got a sponsor. They've got a chap with them who is he's got his own company, sort of selling cues, cases, equipment, and whatnot. He actually sponsors and pays for them all to come over here.
That's pretty important because I mean it's difficult enough if you're an English player getting sponsorship, but
Yeah.
the kind of amount you'd need to come over from abroad.
He says it costs him about £6,000. Well, his company, it costs his company £6,000, which is a big outlay for kind of a new country, so to speak, on the pool circuit. But they beat us this year. They beat us in the Group 11-10.
Yeah, I mean, they can be deceptive. Some of these countries that you haven't heard of in the sense they don't come to these tournaments very often. Like
they can
be very into pool.
Yeah.
Well, and of course the Moroccan team that beat you guys in the final a couple of years ago.
Yeah, very good team.
And it was a nice. I mean, I appreciate you didn't want to lose, but it was sort of one of those results that everyone was almost happy with because it felt like it was nice for them to come.
Yeah, we were disappointed we lost, but I'm glad. Looking back, I'm glad we lost to them. Because they're very nice people. They're very respectful. When they won their semi-final against the Australians, they all sort of jumped over the barrier and all just got into a big old huddle and shouting and screaming. When they were on the win and black to beat us in the final, their captain has sort of gone down the line. He's just gone, "Look, shush guys." And the guy spotted the black. He shook a hand, and then he's gone,
then he's jumped.
Then he's gone over to them, and they've all celebrated. They deserved it. It's a shame that they haven't been able to come back to defend it because of Ramadan.
Yes, I mean all these things that you don't necessarily think about with the constraints everyone else is on.
Yeah, there was a Moroccan here this year who came for the singles, and he was actually fasting while he was here. 19 hours of sunlight.
Yeah, this is the worst time of year, especially this far north. It gets light so late. It gets dark so late.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. That must be really tough. I mean, I can't go without food for about 2 hours.
Well, no, frankly, the production team after your match earlier, everybody was climbing the walls looking for him.
Yeah. Right, so we've got Pat Morehouse at the table on the yellows for Ireland. We've got the yellow tied up next to the black on the left-hand side. Not sure if he's looking to attack or if he's going to be defensive. He's possibly got an angle on this ball in the middle to drop down to for his awkward yellow on the right-hand side, if he chooses.
Yeah, it's sort of a tempting position, isn't it, to go for something, but just a couple of slight problems.
He's playing the one in the corner past the red. Or he might even be trying to bump it across over the pocket. Yeah, he's gone safe. He's not got the pocket, but he hasn't left Nishant very much. He's awkward queuing on the one he's really got a proper shot at.
I think that was probably the right thing to do, going for a reckless finish there.
Yeah, it's more of a team shot, really. If he was playing on his own, he may have been tempted to have a go, but he's opened them. That could have came out worse.
Well, yes, I mean, it definitely been worse. That wasn't what he played, though, obviously by a long way.
No, I think he's obviously played to miss both. He wanted to leave them
Trying to
together.
get the right over the
yeah, just over the pocket. Very tough when you're queuing over a ball like that.
I think if you have the less experienced players feel the time pressure a bit, like, even though 60 seconds is actually a long time and not many people take longer, it's just you sort of feel somebody's about to say 30 seconds and half your time's gone already.
I find it easier playing in the arena because you've actually got a clock up on the wall that you can see, so you know exactly how long you've got left. Normally when you're playing in the group and you just got somebody on a stopwatch, they call 30 seconds and you somewhat panic.
Yeah, you've got no idea how long.
You don't know how long you've got left, so you end up probably playing the shot maybe 10 seconds sooner than you need to.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly rare actually to see a time foul, which kind of tells you everything you need to know. Like it's not that easy to do, but people just worry.
Touch wood, I've never had one, so I'd like to keep it that way as well.
Yeah, I think in tomorrow's final, your opponent certainly won't be having one.
I'd be surprised if they called 30 seconds on him.
We timed one of the frames and it came to 47 seconds.
Yeah, no, that doesn't surprise. He was flying. Right, Nishant's just going to try and stick this red over the corner. Oh, he's not really achieved much through that shot.
No, you can sort of see what he was thinking, but it was going to be hard to play it that way.
Pat's not really got very much to go for himself. He's likely just going to play a containing shot.
Yeah, he'd love obviously to get a yellow over the bottom left, but it's not going to be that easy from where he is.
No. So you can pop this one and float up and down, or get through far enough so that you can get past the black.
So you think he's playing that one to the left of the black off the red? I mean, it's not going to be very easy to get it close if he doesn't.
It's hard to see from our screen here how much of that yellow you can actually see with the black being there. But even just developing that ball, that sort of puts the pressure a little bit onto Nishant.
Got to be careful with this though. Doesn't want to leave. Yeah, that's pretty good. I was going to say, doesn't want to
it
leave
covers.
India a shot at the red.
We just flicking off and excuse me, flicking off and getting the snooker behind the black and the red.
Yeah, hard to see too many much more positive options.
He's played to knock the black on a cushion. That's not a bad shot.
It's the kind of classic team game. Nobody wants to
Yeah.
go for anything too silly.
No, it's a whole new pressure playing for your team. I remember my first year in the England team. That was a whole new pressure that I'd never experienced anything like it before.
Well, it must be so tough coming into the England team as well, because it's not some of these other teams. A player of your standard would come in and be the best player, whereas in England, like everybody's that standard. So.
Yeah, you've got people like Lee, who's been around for many years, and when you know when he's watching you play, you're thinking, well, am I playing the right, am I playing the right shot here? That was a lot of it when I first got into the team. Sort of found my feet a bit more now. This is my 5th year in, so.
Yeah, I mean, it obviously changes around, and then you guys come in and are watching you, as it ever was. Do you think your style of play has changed? We were talking earlier about, not dramatically, but perhaps you're a bit happier to mix it up with. I mean, you seem to be holding Phil off pretty well in the safety department earlier.
A little. I'm more of a thinker, I think now. I've always been relatively quick, I'd say, but I have slowed down quite a lot the last, I don't know, say 2 years or so. Just thinking about things a lot more. That seems to be working. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to find that balance, isn't it? It tends to be the way that people come in and they're young and they pot everything, and then they get older and they think more. And sometimes people go too far. Well, what's happened here? This isn't ideal, is it?
He's just tried to bang his yellow out just to get it into the open, and he's. I think he potted one of Nishant's reds as well,
yeah,
and the white's gone in the centre. So this is a great opportunity for India to go 2-0 up here.
Well, what's even worse is the only difficult red. It's kind of laid on a route for him to get down to.
If he chooses to, he's obviously got his second shot to lay it up, bump it out, if he chooses.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not suggesting he goes for it in one, but he can drop.
He's going to do it first shot. This isn't a bad choice. Yeah, good shot, because he was always going to be on that ball over the pocket, and that's set up pretty nice.
Well, this is just the chance you want if you're comparatively new player.
Yeah.
I don't recognise him from previous
No,
Indian
he
teams.
has. He has played before, possibly maybe last year or even the year before. I've definitely seen him here playing for India before. There we go.
Got a lot of experience in the India team. A few of the older guys have really been around, know what they're doing.
Yeah, they're just missing Partab this year. He's moved up to playing the seniors. He obviously wanted to have a crack to win that world title, so he'll be a miss for them because he's still a very good player.
Yeah, that's a bit of a dilemma when you're still good enough to get in the main team. I imagine they thought they had a better chance of winning the seniors title.
Oh, he's okay. 40.
Yeah, that's right off.
Not really where he wanted it. I'd have rather have been low on this one and played it off the back cushion to then come up.
Yeah, you give yourself more options, and actually that black, if you, as you say, down and over to the.
I think he's obviously going to have a shot on it, but he's going to have more distance now. You just swing round off 2, maybe 3. 2 and 3. Yeah. No, just got to cue these. If you play these at a decent weight, even if you hit the jaw a little bit, that will still go in. They do play a little bit more generous, these big table pockets. But he's playing it confidently. It's 2-0 to India.
It's a solid start. I mean, they've given Ireland chances in both frames, but all that matters is what they've got on the scoreboard. 2-0 at the moment.
Yeah. Good start. Best start they could have hoped for. We've got, this will be the next one, Carl O'Donoghue for Ireland and Harjeet Singh for India.
Yeah, two good young players.
Yes, very good. Harjeet is playing very well at the minute. He had a good run on the last UK tour. He beat, who did he beat? I think he beat Phil, and then he took Mick to a decider, and then he's beat Mick in the Masters here. He's getting some good results.
Yeah, I remember him on the tour a few years ago. He was always a decent player, but not this level. And suddenly the last year or two, he's really pressed on.
I remember I played him in one of the tours at Telford, and I was ahead at the time, and I'd left him not very much at all. He had, I think, one ball in the open, and I'm sort of talking to my friend at the side, and I'm thinking, I hope he goes for these, because I didn't think there was any way he'd get them, and that would just leave me the frame. Just
and suddenly he hoped he wouldn't go for these when he cleared it.
And all of a sudden he's potted this loose ball, knocked one out, doubled another one, knocked one out. He just knocked one ball out every time, and he's ended up getting them. That was one of the most craziest finishes I've ever seen.
Well, a useful break here for him.
So, Harjeet?
Yeah. 3 balls down.
I think he'd be taking the... Well, he could take either. If he's on the yellow in the middle, or he could take... No, the red. That red's on the side cushion.
Yeah,
just seen there.
first.
Yeah, he'll be going yellows here. Put this one, just avoid the red. Yep, good shot. Great opportunity here for 3-0.
Yeah, he's absolutely in prime position now. Got so many choices.
Just working out which way I'd like to go. Is the ball to the right hand side of the 2 at the bottom? Yeah, that's not available in that right corner, so he's either going to have to play that in the centre or the left. Not sure which. Might be saving the one up the top right until last.
Ooh, that's just trying to scrape past it. That's a bit careless. It wouldn't be so bad if it went in the bottom right, but I don't think it does. So
Yeah,
this
he's going to have to play some shot now to pot this and get back onto that yellow.
Yeah, because this ball from the cursory looks like it's near the top right corner pocket, but actually I think it's a bit on the side cushion.
Yeah, it is up more than what the screen would suggest. I think perhaps play the double now while you're on it.
Yeah, I mean trying to pull this and screw back is just so. I mean, you're going the wrong side of the table anyway. Even if you play it perfectly,
you might land on nothing, or still just only leave yourself a double.
Yeah.
At least with this, if you get the double, you've got a better shot. That's slid, I think. Yeah. But there's work here. That red on the right hand side looks as though it's in a very awkward place. I don't think you can creep that, from our view anyway, I don't think you can creep that into the middle.
Like pretty experienced Carl O'Donoghue. He's still very young, but he's been around a while.
Former under-21 world champion.
Yeah, these guys that come through the junior ranks, it feels like they've been here for years because they've come in all the junior teams.
Yeah, there's a few all from the sort of similar era. Carl, Stephen Dempsey, myself, Pat McCarran, Martin McIntosh, Jack Popel. We're all sort of juniors around about the same time.
Yeah, some pretty tough tournaments for the juniors.
Yeah.
In a way, that's quite helpful because it kind of toughens you up.
A little bit, yeah. I've maybe liked it to have been a little bit easier so I could have won
get a bit more
something.
silverware. Yeah, Stephen Dempsey, of course, took Phil Harrison to a deciding frame in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, and he's Mr. Black as well.
Yeah, he played a double, didn't he? And then had to play the black last.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I've just been told roughly where it was. He missed one the round before as well against Jack Popel in the last 16, but he got away with that one because Jack's played his. He's played. That looks a very good shot.
Yeah, that looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, Jack's played his second last ball, swung round the table to get position, and the whites dropped in the middle and give Stephen 2 shots on the black. Game. Look, he's got the right angle, whether it's natural or if he's just got to stun it slightly. Just be going into this one on the. Looks very good. That's a great shot. That's just what sort of angle he's got on this red. From our TV monitor, that looks pretty straight.
Yeah, if he just had a bit of angle that he could screw down the middle, that would be perfect. But it's going to be a bit harder if it's straight. Just about got enough space, a bit close to the cushion, but can just about get to the right bit of the cue ball. Yeah, that's pretty straight.
This looks very thin. Is it? We're going twice up and down. Is it possible to hold it?
No,
it's very hard to see from our.
Looks wafer thin into the middle.
Yeah, it looks that way.
The shot to the corner doesn't really help because the white's going the wrong way.
30 seconds.
Well, you think if he can clip it in with some
He's
right hand side, he can go up and down. Yeah, this is a more difficult part and a difficult position.
Get out there! Come on, cow!
Surely that does it go past?
Well, I think he must think.
The yellow's not right over
He
the
must think
pocket.
it does.
That looks tight.
I think it does, but well, I mean, he's in as good a place as he could be, I suppose, to play it.
Yeah. Well, he's playing it, so he obviously thinks it does. We're playing it with a bit of pace. Yeah! There we go.
Muted celebration from the Irish as they get their first frame on the book.
They're awake.
Well, big an evening match. I'm sure there'll be a bit of refreshment amongst the supporters, even if not them.
Yeah.
We've seen them play first thing in the morning before, and there's been a fair amount of Guinness taken before the match, but let alone tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, full of beans. Just wondering how long until they start singing.
Yes.
Or whether they leave it until they potentially win.
It's probably not so easy when you're 2-1 down. Maybe want to get ahead before they start that.
Yeah. So we've got Sean Sharkey against Vic Mack. Vic won't find this this table any trouble. Ex-snooker pro, 147's to his name. Very good potter.
Pretty good recommendation. So Sean Sharkey for Ireland to break.
And how's that not gone in?
So 2 seriously good goes at bottom.
Yeah. And he's potted a red. So he's got first opportunity. Both set look reasonable. Not sure which he'll favour here. I'm not sure if he's on the yellow across the back cushion.
Yeah, it depends on the opening shot, really, doesn't it? There's this red to the middle. It's a bit hard to tell how tight an angle it is.
Yeah, if it's quite a tightish angle and he's got to play it very, very slow, he'll likely turn it down. Because if he misses, he's just leaving Vic in amongst everything.
You'd feel this yellow across the.
If this yellow goes,
probably the way to.
Yeah, he's nominated yellows. Yeah, if this go in, he's got an excellent chance. Yeah, there we go. So same thing applies. It's just looking after your white ball control here.
Yeah, another guy making his TV debut. I think I don't recall having seen him. He may have played for Ireland before. I'm not sure he's played in the TV. But
no, I'm not sure myself. He has played for the men's team, but whether he played in the later stages or not, I don't know. He seems to do quite well over there. I see him pop up on Facebook winning events.
yeah, in all of these home nations teams, the standard required to just get in the team is pretty high. You're going to be by far the best player in your local area.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody in that Irish team's got here through merit. They deserve their place.
Why Stephen Dempsey, did he not qualify for the team, or was he just not able to play?
Alan McBennett beat him. He's one of the reserves for the Irish for this match, well, for this half anyway. They played, I believe it was the final round of qualifying, and Alan's beat him 8-7.
Well, you can't argue. It's a merit-based scheme. You can't argue with it.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that Stephen Dempsey got to the quarterfinals of the singles tells you how good he is.
Exactly. Yeah. I believe he's former European champion.
He is. Yeah.
And I think he got to the final the very next year or the year before. I think he got back-to-back finals. So no, he's no slouch. Oh, he's left that short.
Yeah, there's a big margin there.
Yeah, he
could
wanted
afford to
that
go a
another
lot
foot.
further. I think you just get a bit scared. This table's so fast, you're worried you're going to lose the white.
You think you're going to go too much and then don't go enough. Very difficult to snick this in, how thin it is, and hold the white ball as well. He's got to avoid the black.
Yeah, this is just an annoying
Is your-
position. It would have been so
Yeah.
much easier. And it's hard not to. If you just get left here, it's one thing. But when you put yourself here, it's hard not to think about them.
See, it's not even much to pick up. It's coming to the table. Now, really, the only possible trouble with the reds is just that one to the left-hand side. But if that goes in the middle, that doesn't pose much of a threat.
Very experienced campaigner, Vic Mack. We've seen plenty of him before.
Yeah, he's been here a few years as well. Very quick. He likes to get on with it. Oh, that wiped my feet a little bit. I think is he going to cut this ball in now. Yeah. Played it very confidently. That wasn't as tight as what I first thought.
No, those can go astray if you're trying to drop them in really slowly. He did the right thing.
Right, so what's he going to do? Is he going to just try and leave him quite straight? No, more of an angle. He's going to... Well...
I think that's a bit more of an angle than he wanted.
Yeah. He's going to have to play a more... He's going to have to play a shot here.
I mean, there's a few shots, but all of them require you to judge the pace absolutely right, otherwise you fly past the ball.
Screw across.
Off the right-hand side cushion.
What a shot. Great shot. Perfect. He's played that really well. No, couldn't be any better on this either. You can play it off the yellow or we can play it direct. There you go.
Good stuff from
Another
India.
one to India.
Yet again, a frame in which Ireland had a chance.
Yeah.
Just that careless position of shot. It looked to be under no pressure there, Sean Sharkey. Just was
No,
a really
it
good
was
position,
just-
then just left that ball short.
Like I said, it was just all about keeping the white ball, and he's not come up far enough for that yellow into the corner, and it's just made him a problem that he didn't have. But the Pigs took them very well.
Yeah, very quick. Wasted no time. Again, one of those things you don't really give yourself a chance. That run over the middle could have been a bit difficult, but just smacked it in. Didn't take any longer on that than any other shot.
Yeah, he's played that very well. So India to break.
Yeah, so Lakvinder Birdie up next for India. His opponent, one of the two Hocks in the Irish team, Barry Hock.
Barry's been away for a few years. His brother Declan's played quite a few times, but I haven't seen Barry here for quite a while.
No, Declan's been a fixture for a while, but as you say, completing the family unit this year.
Yeah. Again, good player to have back for the Irish. And there's back, and we've got nothing down. So first chance to Barry.
Difficult decision for a lot of teams as well. Often people have got more than 8 good players, and you can only name 8 in this session and then 7 in the next one. So there's going to be good people on the bench.
They'll have played. Well, we've obviously played 13 games in the round robin, and India would have played a playoff last night. So they'll know who's playing well, who's sort of done better in the stats. So I imagine they'll just base it on that. When we played them, well, they've got Videsh on the bench, which I'm very surprised at because he's, in my opinion, one of their better players.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. There's so many people, it's hard for them all to get in.
Maybe he just hasn't had a good tournament because normally you'd have him down on the sheet.
Yeah, no, he hasn't had it. Well, not terrible, but he's won 13 out of 30 frames, 43%.
43%, yeah.
Which, well, I mean, you can see the stat. Just looking at the stats here, Harjeet Singh, who you'd say was one of the better players, has only had 15 outings.
Yeah, he turned up late. He weren't here for, I think, the first 2 or 3 days. So, but he is probably their best player. So, even though he possibly hasn't performed as well, you've got to put him down because you know what he's capable of.
Looks like a couple of new faces in your England team next up. Mike King and Chris Day. New, I mean, not new to the whole team, but new to the World Championships.
Well, no,
final stage.
they are new to the team as well. They only got in the team at the trials this year at March. Yeah, we've got eight back that were here last year. It's just them 2 that are new. Barry, that was probably a very good shot there, just through the gap. So he's obviously played for this red just above the black into the right hand corner. I think he'd like to be on the one in the middle perhaps here.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell. If he could, I don't know if he can leave the cue ball, if he can just screw back an inch or two, whether he'll be able to take the one in the middle and run up for the one at the top. After.
Yeah, he might have to leave the one in, like sort of on the black spot until last, because I'm not sure he can pop this one he's on now to then leave that one to get onto the one into the middle, or vice versa, middle to that ball.
Yeah, quite. I mean, normally you prefer to take them out in areas, but it's the one in the middle that's the tricky one. Well, I mean, he's on both, but you would feel he's surely got to take this one to the middle. He's so well on it.
I think you've got to take the one on the middle while you're on it.
He's just perfectly on it because I think as long as he can get past that second yellow, which I thought he can.
I just want a decent angle on this one up the top left, something to work with. He wouldn't want to be straight.
You'd think he should naturally leave. I don't think he's going to be able to get right up to the bottom cushion. You'd think he would naturally leave an angle if he just drops this in.
I'd rather leave this high. He's gone low. So does he just drop this come? Oh, he's looking as though he can play.
It's okay, yes, if you can play it that way, it's all right. If not, like you, I'd have preferred to be, because then you could have used the baulk cushion to...
Baulk cushion, side cushion, and you're going into that area.
Yeah.
Unless you could potentially just drop this in, bounce off the cushion a little bit, and just leave yourself a longer shot, and play it into the bottom right, and have the white come round the back of the black. See what he decides.
Doesn't look quite like he has decided, does it?
No, I think the time might have been called. Yeah, he's just left himself a longer shot. He's left this thinner than he'd liked.
Yeah, because now it's not just a case of drifting around the back of the black. It's going to be hard to slow the cue ball down.
Yeah, unless he bumps into one, he could potentially hit one of them the yellows.
Yeah, the first one ideally.
Yeah.
If it's the second one, he might be in
a
bit of trouble.
I think you just make sure of the pot here and just let the white trust to luck a little bit. Because the worst thing you could do here would be to miss the red.
Yeah, how often do you see that? People are concentrating on the position.
Just take their eye off the pot. I mean, this is no gimme anyway.
He doesn't want to leave it short. We've seen Ireland do that. I mean, there are times
I don't know what
you can justify it enough, but
I don't know why he's played that so hard, what he's tried to do.
no. Well, the cue ball hitting anywhere near that jewel was not going to be a good outcome.
No.
I mean, that's terrible. Just playing it, he caught it a bit thick, played it so hard, which widened the angle as well.
Yeah.
No, that's all wrong.
So 2 shots to Lukvinder, birdie.
Well, this has been the story of the game so far. I mean, keep getting in and then making just one silly mistake in each frame.
That's all it takes. India will take this all night long. Ireland get in first, and they just keep coming to the table. We've just, with all the work done, they just got a table full of open balls.
Well, there's no poor player that doesn't like this position where you've got 7
with
balls
2
in the
shots
black and
as
2
well.
shots. It's a sort of practice position.
Yeah.
The one on the right hand side you might want the second shot for, but he's got it if he needs it.
That's the thing. If you get on it and just play it, if you got 2 shots on it, you play it in or over, basically.
It tends to be the way when you've got 2 shots, you pot it because you're under no pressure. It's
Yeah.
when you've got to pot it that it's hard.
Yeah, you still like it to go in. You like to keep your 2, just to keep the pressure off that little bit. Just plan his route. So I wouldn't be trying to. He's tried to bump it out.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose in a sense, there was no harm. I think I'd have preferred
No.
just to drop in behind it, like you're saying, just run it down the cushion.
Yeah, as
No
long as you
pressure on
don't
it.
sort of do something silly by trying to knock it out.
Well, that's the thing. Anytime you run into a ball, the white can come off at a weird angle and fly
Yeah,
around somewhere.
of course. And we want them to clear this one along the bottom sooner rather than later as well.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for him, even though the cannon's not worked, he's still in a nice position.
Well,
Oh, that's a poor shot. I mean, there's no need to.
I actually think he's played for the one on the bottom rail, but he's just played it really badly. And the thing is, he can't even waste his shot from here and develop the bad ball that we've been talking about.
Yeah, but if he just was out of position but could see the one on the side cushion, it would be fine. But
Yeah, you've got no problem.
God, I mean, to not clear up from here would be a heartbreaking failure.
Could potentially come thin off this one on the bottom and
Try and cannon
ping the
that.
white up.
Yeah. You've got to be careful. It's so easy to play one bad shot and then start chasing it.
He's knocked it out. Where's the... It's not
Well.
the yellow a little bit awkward, but that is okay if he's on the left-hand side.
I mean, even when you see it, that seems quite a risky shot because he has not the yellow safe, and there's no guarantee of that.
No, of course not, yeah.
It's not turned out too bad as it happens.
If he can play this one sort of on the black spot and just drift over to leave the gap that he's been looking at on the left-hand side, he'll be perfect, and you'd think he'd be home and dry. Just all about getting on that cushion. There we go. Yeah, it's perfect.
Well, it's been an unconventional way of going about it, but he's back in
Yeah.
prime position.
Yeah, he's still got them. You'd think he's going to get them. He's just anywhere in the middle of the table.
Yeah, no, this is a positional shot. It'd be pretty hard to mess up. Famous last words after his previous
Yeah.
one.
So much area to play in. See, not sure. Maybe he's after like an extension for the bottom of his cue. Is he stretching? Yeah, there we go. Just a little mini butt.
It's right by the side. You can't see why you'd need one, but it's just that slightly awkward angle where you've got to lean over the whole of the rest of the table.
He should just play it with the other hand.
Yeah, I mean, I'd certainly play that left-handed, but people have different preferences.
Oh, no, I wouldn't play it left-handed. There we go. 3 drop-ins now. Right, left, black in the bottom left. He's given it a chance to pop out.
If you just watched him, not even the ball, he just looked so
Yeah,
nervous the way he
you can
jabs
see
it.
So he lifts his head up just before he hits
Willing
the
it
ball. Unconventional stance as well. I think he's got both legs bent.
He's sort of crouching down. Oh, yeah, it's a very odd stance actually from that angle, isn't it?
It obviously works for him. There we go. 4-1. Excellent start for India. Ireland up against it here. I know it's still early doors and they won't sling the towel in just yet, but they need to start clawing this back.
I think they'll be annoyed with how it's got to that scoreline as well, because it's not just like India's come to the table and broken and dished every time.
Yeah.
They just keep giving them chances.
See, they're definitely going to be behind at the break, but they'd love to get these next 2 frames just so it's only 4-3. Anything more than that, and India are going to be fancying the job. Ireland undefeated here so far. They won 13 out of 13 in the group stage.
Yeah, that is an impressive record, whoever you are, isn't it?
With the strength of teams that are here, England, Australia, Scotland, Wales, India. That's to win every single game is no easy task this year. possibly one of the toughest to win in recent memory.
Yeah, there's a lot of the teams that you would consider would be weaker teams just actually looked pretty strong. You can't identify players you'd be delighted to play.
No. Like Australia, sometimes they'll send a weakened team, but this year they've pretty much got everybody, maybe to except Ben Noonan. Everybody else that you'd expect to be playing is playing. The Irish have got a very strong team. Scotland have always had a very strong team. India improving. It's a tough tournament. To go 13 out of 13 is very good. But you don't win the tournament in the group stage.
Well, I was going to say, to go 13 from 13 and lose this one would be a bad way to go.
That's only half the job, getting through the group. This is where it matters. That's the second week that you can win the tournament.
Yeah, the old adage, you can lose it in the first week but not win it.
Yeah, correct.
So, a second hock for Ireland. Declan this time.
Decided to take the Reds. Work to be done.
So 2 more frames to play before the mid-session interval. They certainly don't want to be coming in with anything approaching 6-1 scoreline.
No, they won't give up. They were 5-1 down to us in the final a few years ago, and I remember it quite well. Dave McQuillan has knocked in a massive clearance, I believe, against Ben Flack. He's given it the big come on, and just suddenly they just had a lift. They came back after the break, and they've actually missed the black to go 6-5 up. But they won't sling the towel in.
Slightly unfortunate outcome here for Declan. He's playing a good plant there and knocked a yellow over the bottom right.
He's put himself in a lot of bother now. This is the only guy from the Indian team that I've never, apart from this week, I've never really seen him play before.
No, it's a new name for me as well. Well, it's not the absolutely ideal position to come to the table for your first go, but it could be worse.
Yeah.
At least he is coming to the table. And he'll be grateful to Declan for covering that bag for him.
Yeah, again, the Irish are just doing the work for India at the moment. He hasn't covered all of these yellows. He's going to flick this bad one out straight away. Oh, it's a foul.
Yeah, so just hit the red there.
It's hit the red. Not the end of the world. It's not the easiest of clearances, especially with 2 shots. But
No, I mean, frankly, to hit the wrong colour ball and still leave this position is
yeah,
not bad at all.
deliberate foul, maybe.
Yes. Very advanced piece of thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is, but he's got his own way of playing.
Yeah, we'll just let the Irish try and go for the clearance, and hopefully, if they mess up again, I'll come and I'll have an open table like everybody else.
Yeah, I don't mind the throwing down the gauntlet. That was an unusual way of taking it.
Yeah. So is he going to try and... Yeah, he's got both out. And he's played a good shot there because he's made sure he was on the one up the top.
Yeah, we can certainly see him putting the 4 reds, then he'll just have a little bit of work to do to get up near that black.
Yeah. If he's on it, I'd expect him to pot it, because you can just trickle these down the cushion, and they are more giving than what the 7-foot tables are down the line.
Yeah, the 7-foot table from that kind of position, you draw it so often unless you're right behind it.
You need to be spot on, but these do play a bit bigger.
But frankly, with the added pressure of being out here, they can barely play big enough.
Plus 4-1 down as well. That'd be big pressure. That's why he's decided. That's a good shot.
Yeah, that's turned out well, hasn't it? It's just left himself a slightly more difficult next red, but if he can negotiate that. I don't blame him for that. I mean, in a way, it was a bit reckless, but it's in this kind of situation you don't want to leave yourself a pressure black.
Yeah, the black, it's all well and good to pot if you're nice on it, but it wasn't easy to get nice on it.
No, it wasn't at all.
So he obviously thought by hitting into that black that he'd be left on the red at the top of the table. He's not ideally on this occasion, but he's landed nicely on the other two. Yeah, that's a good shot.
Yeah, that is a good shot. Under pressure, you can miss those.
Choices now. I think he'll play the one into the same pocket and just come through the big gap to the right hand side. Bottom cushion, side cushion, and play for the red in the top left. Or he could play this one past the black now.
This is a more certain positional shot playing this way around, but
he's looking to pot this and screw into the yellow.
I don't like that. Like, most of the time it works fine, but if you just glance off the wrong side of it, suddenly you're snookered when you don't need to be.
It looks, from our angle again, it looks like he's got to pinch the pocket. Now he's looking at playing the top one again. Maybe he's not got the angle to play the shot.
I think if he's not confident of playing your shot, he's better just doing this, because at least you're guaranteed a shot.
Right. So now he's going to have to play a gap now.
Yeah, actually, you've got to be a bit careful with this, because if you really want to play two cushions hitting the bottom cushion and the side cushion, but I don't know if he's quite got the angle. He's getting quite close to the corner pocket.
Yeah, and if he clips that, that's in, and India have got two shots again with balls in the open.
The safer way of avoiding that is to screw it, but then actually there's not a big gap, but if you screw across
you'd be going to the side cushion, touch aside, and he should be okay. I think he is playing that way. I think he is screwing. Now he's playing top. I didn't see exactly where the white went. I've just seen where it's ended up.
I think that was a better path, though. He was likely to get through the traffic playing that way.
Yeah, as long as he wasn't going to go close to the one over the pocket. There's the fist pump. Yeah, as long as he weren't going to go close to the one over the pocket, that was always the shot.
Yeah, it was a nice finish in the end. There were a few complicating factors. So the man you mentioned, Dave McCullum.
Yeah, he always plays this slot for Ireland. Very, very experienced, been around many years.
Yeah, very safe pair of hands. Yeah, some people love playing these. Well, this isn't a last frame decided, but the last frame of the session. Some people like that, and some people hate it.
Yeah, there's pressure on him. This is a big frame. It's either going to be 5-2 at the break, or 4-3.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
5-3. India only need 3 frames after the break to get to the final. So in theory, Ireland have then got to beat them 5-2 or better. That's but 4-3. It's game on again. So we've got Steve Singh for India. Use a break cue, and it's worked well. And he's got a nice split.
Yeah, that has turned out well. You don't see many people using break cues in 9-ball. Obviously, it's the norm, but not so much here.
Yeah, they're getting a few more now. I spoke about this on the UK Tour commentary. The Jason Owens break cue has become quite popular. Just give him another plug, another shout out. So I think Steve's going to take the reds. He's going to pot this one and leave the one next to the yellow into the centre. No, he's...
Well, you'd have thought that might have been the wiser option.
I don't know if he's played to hit them or whether he's played to go past and play it in the same pocket. I think he looks okay. He's just got to play this one into the centre at a more acuter angle than what he should have done.
This is a bit of a funny choice to play a cannon there.
He's decided to play down. good shot. Oh, it's just run a little bit, but he's... See, he's just... The only problem here is just the one on the cushion, on the right-hand side, which he might play last now.
Yeah, you'd feel he's got quite a good angle to take the ones at the top of the table next. It might be wiser to leave it till last.
Or second last. Missed it. Quite wide as well.
Yeah, that was a nervy, tentative shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he couldn't play it too hard, but he could play it firmer than that.
I think he was too worried about position on the other ball. He just took his eye off it.
He's never quite looked at ease. He played a slightly strange first shot and then was forced to take the easy one next.
Obviously, everyone see things a bit differently, but to me, I'd have just dropped the one in the corner, just come off the cushion and played for the one in the centre. So Dave McQuillan's got a chance here. He's just got his one awkward yellow really, and that's the one nearest the red that Steve has just missed. But he's got plenty of options to try and drop on it. I might even go.
That suggests it must go the way he's played.
Or we might just play for the pocket. No. Can't see where he's striking on the white. He's striking centre, so I think he's just going to knock this over the pocket. Oh no.
Oh, no. If you're going to play it like that, you've got to cover the pocket.
Yeah, he's played it really hard. I think the only thing I can think of, I think he's expected the yellow to come back up and possibly bump the red a little bit and sit behind it, because that was nowhere near pocket weight.
No.
Just to hit the jaw and just sit over. So another opportunity for Steve.
Yeah, he's kind of back in a pretty similar situation to where he was a moment ago. It's a second chance.
But
well, that seems a slightly unusual way of playing.
yeah, now he wants to play one into the middle.
Does that really make sense when it goes so well into the corner?
It's just I'm not sure he's got the angle here to really get out. He's asked for the rest. I mean, you could potentially just push this over the pocket if you wanted to have a bit more of a drawn-out game.
Well,
He's got that long. He's hit that nowhere near hard enough.
He's shot, isn't it? I mean, leaving this. Well, put it this way: he hasn't done anything so far to suggest he's going to be able to smash this in the length of the table.
No. With the white just off the cushion, and you got to think about where the white is going for your next shot.
Yeah, well, if it's completely straight, it may not be so bad, but
Yeah,
if it's
this
off
is
straight,
always
it's going
not.
to be
Look,
tricky.
he's going towards the yellow.
Well,
Now this is where McQuillan has got all the yellows at his disposal.
well, I think they're both going to be annoyed after this frame. Well, whoever wins will forget it, but
Yeah,
they've both made a silly mistake. Well, Steve's made two silly mistakes.
big frame as well in the context of the match, as I said from the start. India going 5-2 in front.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, not there's no way back, but it's a long way back if you're 5-2 then.
Yeah, that just keeps the pressure on. The next frame after the break is either 5-3 or 6-2. That's big pressure on the Irish. I think we're just going to go middle, the top one of the two, and I think he'll play the lower one into the same pocket, drift into the middle of the table for the yellow in the top right and the black bottom left. But as we've seen already in this match, stranger things can happen.
Needs to be a bit careful with this shot that he gets it into the white enough that he does draw it back past the other one. That's good.
He's gone into red.
He's taking his time, but this is Pretty straightforward now.
There you go. Dead straight black. A little bit of distance, but you'd never expect him to miss it. And this will be game on again. Going into the break. There we go. India will be pleased that they're ahead, but disappointed that it's not by more. And the Irish will be relieved. Because at 4-3, that could have been a lot worse.
Well, they spurned some chances, but it'd be a very relieved Ireland that draw it back to only 1 frame behind. That last frame, important difference, as we say, between 5-2 and 4-3.
Yeah, that's a big frame. That's going to give the Irish a big boost, in my opinion, now. Could have been 5-2 down, 4-3, they're back in the game. I think the momentum's in their favour again. This could go either way. That could be a close one.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like, I think if India had gone 5-2 up, they could have easily run away with it, but that's what they needed to get back into it.
Yeah, they've been pushed up against the wall again now. They've had a couple of chances. The Irish have given them a couple early doors as well, but they've got to come back out and they've got to push again. They've got to try and get that lead and just push their way to 8.
And how about your match? You've got to leave now to prepare for your match against Australia this evening.
Yeah, we're playing the Aussies straight after this match, I believe 9 o'clock. That should be good.
Strong Australian team, you're saying?
Yeah, we were 9-5 down against them yesterday in the round robin, but we won the last 7, won 12-9. But that was yesterday, this is today.
Well, I hear you won 21-0 at one stage against Algeria.
We won 21-0 against Algeria to pip them by 2 frames, because we both finished on 2 losses. So we won on frame difference.
So important to qualify.
Yeah, we didn't want to be playing a playoff last night. They played the Scots as well, which are a very dangerous team. But they got through, and tonight should be a good game.
Very best of luck. We'll look forward to that. Before that, we've got the mid-session interval in this match for 10 or 15 minutes. Then we'll be back with the second half of this, and then back at 9 o'clock for England against Australia. Do join us then. I feel like they slightly dodged a bullet in that last frame before the mid-session interval. Ireland pulling one back to only be one behind coming into this. India currently leading by 4 frames to 3. Pleased to be joined in the commentary box for the second half by Sean Baker. Exciting first few frames there, Sean. Like the Irish threw away a lot of opportunities earlier.
Yeah, certainly did. I was very, very surprised. They weren't. They certainly didn't come out as strong as I thought they would have done. But India made a fantastic start there. 4-1 up, and they've had a good chance really. They could have quite easily gone into that 5-2, and that you almost feel like it might have been deserved. You know, the Irish didn't quite fire. I mean, 13 wins out of 13 in the group stage, which is almost unheard of. We did get asked about that, and we've not had a chance to check whether it's been done before. But if it has, it's certainly not been done very often. So very, very strong Ireland team this year. After the disappointment last year, I remember talking to them, they were devastated really. They'd not performed. There was 1 or 2 players missing that are here this year. So really, really strong side this year. And looking at the lineup for the second half, they've certainly come out with the big guns. I mean, we've got Carl O'Donoghue here at frame 8. You've got Declan Hock in 9 and Robert Brady in 10. So they've really led with some of the big guns here to get themselves back in the match and I think try and get themselves in the lead. Interesting that they've brought in their sub as the 15th man.
Yeah,
so
I noticed.
If this is to go all the way to a 7-all, you know, a final frame decider, it's Alan McBennett, who the Irish hopes would be resting on.
Well, yes, that happened last year, didn't it? I can't remember if it was Ireland or somebody else. Somebody played a sub making their debut in the TV stages of any tournament in this match, and they had to play the decider. That's a tricky position to find yourself.
Yeah, I think Ireland said they did this a couple of years, 2-3 years ago. They got to the final frame, and it was the sub that was playing the decider for them, and unfortunately they lost. I think it might have been in the final actually against England, and Ben Flack took out the finish, having broken down on a finish from the break, and they took the title. So they, I think they're banking on winning it before it gets that far, to be honest, having looked at the way they've set the team up.
I think this is probably a sensible strategy, because I think if they can get India under some pressure, they could easily build up a lead. But the problem was they just kept handing India chance after chance.
Yeah, and interesting, looking at the Indian lineup, they've gone the first 5 players, they've gone with the same 5. Then what they've done is they've brought the sub in Videsh in at frame 13, Steve Singh at 14, and Raj Kumar, who lost to Declan Hock in the first session, he's there again, their 15th man. But at the moment, Carl O'Donoghue making a great effort here to level this match up at 4 frames all. Got a little bit of work to do here just to get on the black. But he's certainly one of the big guns of the Irish game, has been for a very long time. Exceptional player, Carl O'Donoghue.
Yeah, I'm not sure he can get close to this black. I feel he may just have to leave himself a longer shot.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was watching the Irish practice this morning for a little while, and they spent quite a lot of time breaking, practicing the break shot until they'd made a ball. And that's a superb shot from Carl O'Donoghue there. He's left himself fairly simple 8-ball, bottom right.
Yeah, I mean that was as difficult a way of playing it as you could imagine. I mean, it's worth doing it if you get it right. That was a slightly risky shot. You could easily have missed it.
Super effort there from Carl O'Donoghue. Now 4 frames all in this race to 8 men's team semi-finals.
That's such an important turnaround. Could have been 5-2, then coming back they'd have been really against it, but got it back to 4-3, which meant that they had the momentum coming into this session, levelled it up.
Yeah. I think they've got a superb team spirit going here, and you see now they're still pumped up. They've been outside just getting a little bit of fresh air at the break, having a little bit of a pep talk and a team talk.
And a sing-song indeed.
Yeah, we had a sing-song as well, a couple of the senior players chipping in and giving the benefit of their experience. And it was almost like no chances, lads. Give them absolutely nothing in the second half of this match.
So Declan Hock up next. India to break. Nishant Bharat.
He took out a good finish in his first frame, Nishant did. Fairly soft break there he's played. He's not made a ball. Nothing easy from straight off. Pretty sure, certainly he's going to look to take reds here, unless you can see the yellow in the right middle. But, and there's one awkward red that's by the black. There's yellow there, but again, there's a chance to develop that. And as Nishant just looks on, hoping he'll now get another chance, having broken, not potted a ball.
Yeah, I think there's a decent chance he will get back to the table. This is not a completely straightforward finish, although Declan took out a good clearance in his first frame. Yeah, as you say, no yellow to go for, so the red over the centre is the starting ball. And you can certainly see him potting the 5 loose reds. The question is, what's he going to do about the one that's next to the black?
Yeah, he's looking at a way of developing that, because he's got to run into the red. The yellow really to the left of the red isn't so much of a problem. It's the one that's to the right of it that's causing him the issue, and he needs to try and get into that early while he's still got a couple of other balls in that half of the table that he can leave himself on.
Yeah, I mean, if you play it off the red that's nearest the right middle pocket, then he'll still have the one over the left afterwards. So you've got the angle here. I feel if he was to try to play the cannon off this one over the right middle now, he's likely to leave himself a shot on the one in the left middle afterwards.
Yeah, potential to run into the black here, almost full face. And it splits the red and the yellow away from the black to free that up. And like I say, he'd be desperately unlucky not to leave himself on the one either in the middle or the bottom right corner. So
yeah, because if he hits the black fairly full, he's going to knock the yellow away and leave the red and the black somewhere around there, which is fine. It's not too gently, but not too hard either. It's a middling weight shot.
No, he's opted to come off the bottom rail. He's had a little bit of fortune there because he's knocked him away so he can see the one over the bottom right. It's just a question, does that go bottom left? Or has he got to take it bottom right or left middle? Not quite sure he can get between. He's looking there. Can he get between the black and the yellow at that red? I think that would certainly be his preferred pocket here.
Yeah, that would be perfect, but not much margin for error. I mean,
No.
at least in doing that, he can leave. I suppose he can play it as a two-way shot, because if he leaves the red somewhere in the sort of middle right of the table, he'll either have the one into the left middle and can then run round the back, or he'll have the difficult one. Oh, that's a pretty good shot.
Yeah, nice control on that shot there. Didn't try and hit that too hard. And let the cue ball get away from him. Nice full contact on the black. Still think though now he's taking this one in the corner. He's getting his position on the one at the top of the table now. It just does go top right, but you'd have to be exactly right on that to get it. It also goes in the right middle, obviously. Again, it's going to be about position from that ball to the black is the key to winning this frame for Declan Hock. He's pointing exactly there where he wants to be.
Yeah, this is a bit like his first frame. He had a clearance that didn't look like it was quite there, but he somehow found a way. It's very focused, isn't he? Very intense around the table.
Yeah, I actually refed him on Thursday night last week, and although he was unfortunate to lose, he was 8-3 in the end. He was a very focused player, and he certainly put it right on the pronunciation of his name straight from the start.
Yes.
Although it looks like to us in England it would be Huff, it's definitely in Ireland that is Declan Hock, and you see there his brother Barry looking on.
Yeah, well, I think we're slightly outnumbered given there's two of them, so we'll have to get it right.
Yeah, Alan McBennett just to the right, Sean Sharkey there, looking on.
Alan McBennett just to the right, praying that the scoreline of 7-7 doesn't arise at any stage in this match.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, I'm sure he would like to get out there and have a go, but he's going to be under a lot of pressure if he does get to the table.
He's really taking his time here. Way past the 30-second call. He had a little look up at the clock there, so he must know where he's up to. He's got the pot, but yeah, I think he's okay there. He's okay. He's just going to have to miss the middle pocket with the cue ball. It shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, it's just a slight distraction of that yellow next to the cue ball, but other than that, it's a simple enough shot.
The thing is, though, there is no simple shots at this stage in the men's team semi-finals, the World Championships. I say, extremely focused young man here. It's there. And Ireland now take a 5-4 lead in this race to 8. They've recovered from 4-2 down by taking the fact they were 4-1 down. And they've recovered now back to 5-4, and we see now real experience coming up in the next frame. Robert Brady, European finalist a couple of years ago. One of the stalwarts of this team for a long time now.
I'm sure if he looks excited to be coming out to play or scared by the celebration that's going on around him. Boisterous scenes from the Irish.
You just see how much this means to every Irishman out there. Interesting little fact. I was talking to Dave McQuillan earlier on, who's the Irish captain, and he was saying they won it in 2006, they won it in 2011. That's a 5-year gap. It's now 2016. Is that 5-year gap or that 5-year wait about to end again?
Well, that's a pretty decent record if you win the world title every 5 years.
I think the Irish boys would probably disagree with it. They'd be looking to win it every year.
Yeah, they would, yes.
Yes, England have certainly had a dominance on it with one or two other teams in briefly interrupting it.
Well, let's not forget Morocco from nowhere a couple of years ago.
Exactly. Yeah, they looked dead and buried in the semi-final against Australia, came back, and then, outplayed England in the final. You see the break off from Robert Brady. Again, nothing down. So here's one of the real stars of the Indian team this week, Harjeet Singh.
Yeah, he arrived late, so he's played less frames than everyone else.
He wasn't able to get to the start of the tournament, so but had a great run at the weekend in the World Masters competition. It was unfortunate to lose in the quarter-finals, having beaten Mick Hill, who was the reigning world champion, and still is the reigning world champion until tomorrow night. As we already know, there'll be a new name on the trophy this time, after the demise of Phil Harrison in this afternoon's first semi-final.
Setting up an all East Anglia final. 2 lads from Norfolk and Suffolk.
Yeah. It's, I think Carl said earlier on they've practised together quite a bit at times as well. They don't live that far apart. You see there, Shabir Japal again. He's still smiling. I don't think he's stopped smiling since he got off the plane from Mauritius. Absolutely loved his time here in Blackpool.
We should rent him out as an advert for Blackpool. The tourist board would be happy to have that kind of people.
You see there the Indian team looking on. Not so many smiles there at the moment. There's got to be concern now at 4-1. In complete control. They know now that one of the big names for him, Harjeet Singh.
Yeah, I think one of the most improved players on the tour over the last couple of years, Harjeet Singh. He's gone from being a sort of decent amateur to the name you really don't want to draw.
Yeah, that's it. He's and that's one of the things about the UK tour. you're playing top players all the time, and playing top players, when you're young, particularly like Harji, will always improve your game. Obviously, he's got a good pedigree. Father Partab, played for India for many years, been a professional on the pool tour as well, and moved up to the seniors this time now. I think he might have played in the seniors last time as well, but certainly in the senior section now. So it's down to young Harji to take up the family mantle, representing India in the men's team event.
Yeah, we've got some good family action going on here. We've got two
That's
hops
a
in the
superb double there. I've got to admit, I thought he'd been looking to use that ball to go past the red and disturb his other red out that's by the yellow at the top end of the table, top left corner. So still quite a bit of work to be done here.
He's a player that likes to go after a finish if there's one halfway available.
Aki Khan there, he was in the World Masters at the weekend. Big supporter of the Indians. I'm just wondering, we can't quite tell here. I wonder if that red goes past the yellow, or between the yellow and the top rail. See there? I think it might do.
Yeah, well, I think
that's
the way he's
might be
gone
what he's
about
playing.
this would be a slightly strange clearance to have gone for
Yeah.
if this didn't go.
You almost sort of squeeze it past the yellow.
Yeah, not too. You can't be smashing this too hard. You're just gonna
It's
give it a
almost one of
chance.
them. You're playing it as if, well, if it doesn't go in, it's going to cover the pocket. He's just not quite made his mind up about this. You see there, 2 or 3 times he's got down now.
Well, there's also the question of the position onto the last one.
Well, he's played that superbly well, because I say that's almost one he'd, I wouldn't say drop dead weight, but certainly not that speed, because you're not quite sure where the yellow's going. But one long red here, and
Yeah, and he's very steady with this kind of shot. He won't mind leaving a bit of distance here.
I think I'd like to have seen that run through a little bit further than that. Just a little bit tentative and a bit jabby when he hit it.
At least this is the kind of shot you can play with an amount of conviction. He hasn't got to just drop it in. You can cue this properly.
Oof.
Well,
Well, he's
cue it
missed that
properly,
by
he has
quite a
not done.
while.
Yeah, I mean that's a nervy miss, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, like I say, his previous shot was a bit jabby, and he needed really to have run through probably another 6 or 9 inches, and that would have left him a much straighter shot and a lot easier shot. So, Robert Brady.
Yeah, this is the man you want at the table in this kind of situation. So much experience. He knows what
Almost
to
makes
do
me
here.
wonder if he isn't going to play the safety here. He's going to play the left one of those 2 yellows,
Yeah, I mean, he can
and
leave
leaves the
it.
cue ball just tucked there. Great shot there from Robert Brady.
That was just too good an opportunity. He not only broke his own balls out, but left Harji in this really tricky position.
Didn't really develop it anywhere, but didn't need to at this point. If he can extract the 2 visits, then at some point he could probably bump that ball out, because he's got the yellow over the left-hand middle and the yellow that goes into the top left corner pocket. So if he
Yeah,
gets an opportunity.
This is awkward, really. I mean, the best he can do is hit it towards the pocket.
That's not a bad
Well, that's-
result
that's
at all.
not a bad result.
That is a fantastic result. You see there some of the Irish ladies looking on. That's Louise Marr there on the right-hand side. Just as we were thinking, Robert Brady was in complete control of this frame. Harjit Singh has pulled out a great shot there to put him in some difficulty here. I mean, to be honest, yeah, all I can see is flicks off the yellow and tries to leave the snooker. And he's certainly not snookered him. The only problem Singh's got here is if he flicks off the black and tries to leave it back towards the top rail, is that Robbie Brady's got that yellow near to the left-hand middle, which would give him an easy first pot, if you like.
Yeah, it's hard to see a position that isn't going to leave him an easy first pot. Whether he, well,
It's a question of, does he try, he just flicks it thin and tries to lead the cue ball back towards that top left-hand corner so he can't see the one over the middle.
Ideally, Harjeet wants to keep the black in play, but then if there's nothing he can do, he's almost better to leave.
Has he gone in off? He's hit it too hard. Oh, that's desperate. That's desperate. Because that's the shot, but it's nowhere near that hard. He just needs to make sure he covers and drops it on the rail.
It's always a tricky position when you're chasing the black around. 'Cause even if he played that shot perfectly, it was going to be such an easy safety next up for Robert. But still, he'd much rather have the 2 visits.
He's even played a cheeky little cannon there just to move the black out into a better position. He left himself slightly awkward queuing though, with cue ball on the rail now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can put the one in the left middle. I think you'd have rather had that in such a way you could have played another cannon on the one on the side, but there's no real need to. I mean, any situation where he drops this in is going to be fine.
I think he's wasting a visit here. I think he's just moving that one out, yeah. Yeah, it's good thinking that is experience from Robert Brady. That's, you know, he's got a huge amount of experience playing this Irish team as long as I can remember, probably as long as I've been coming to the championships. Robert Brady's been a firm part of this team. Even when they haven't had such a strong team, he's still come over and if you like, fought for the cause when the team hasn't been the strongest, you know, they could have had on paper. And the thing about this Irish team is it's so strong this year, and they've got Stephen Dempsey potentially coming back into the fold next year. He's been here this time, and he played in the Masters. In fact, he played Robert Brady and beat him. And I think it was about the last 32, 7-6. So just to get Steve Dempsey back into this Irish team, and they will take some beating.
Well, it says something about their strength and depth that he doesn't qualify for the team and he gets to the quarterfinals of the singles.
Yeah, I'm not sure though. I think there's they have qualifying, you know, criteria, and they say, well, some countries do. I know Australia do, England obviously have the trials, and then they have the internal trials for the world team, and I think Ireland have a similar thing. You know, you've got to, I think it's based on their tour rankings. So obviously if he's not played on their tour last year or part of this year, then, you know, he's not qualified for the team. Not quite sure what the situation is, but certainly he's back in the fold.
Yeah,
Irish pool.
I'm not quite sure how the qualifier works either. Carl seemed to be suggesting that he'd lost the last qualifier to, I think, Alan McBennett maybe. But either way, we can agree he'd be a good addition to have back.
Yeah. Again, experience. Taking his time, absolutely no rush whatsoever. Knows he's got 60 seconds. He's going to take as much time as he feels he needs to within that 60 seconds. Absolutely no mistakes, and that's exactly what he was telling the team outside at the interval. You know, don't make any mistakes. Don't give your opponent a chance, and that's what he's doing here.
Well, 6-4 would be, from how they started, would be an amazing scoreline. 4-1 down at one stage.
Yeah, I think the decibels are just going to go up a notch. You see the celebration.
Yeah,
from Robert
it's
Brady.
going to be a wild celebration.
They were going to take the roof off in the first half when he won the frame.
I'm not sure if he's going to dare go right over to his rail straight away. He's going to get mobbed.
So look at him. Just look at him. That's how much it means to him.
Good to see this team spirit, though. This is what the team competition's all about.
Well, this is it, you know. I mean, you can have the best team in the world, individual players, and they don't gel together and they don't get on well together, then you don't get that team spirit. You know, and it's like, well, I'm not bothered if I don't win this one, then somebody else will win it, and you get that sort of attitude. There's none of that with this Irish team. There's none of that with this Irish team. They're sort of almost like live and breathe as one during the championships. Certainly this year they have. Every time you've seen the group together, it's pretty much all of them together. You know, as a group, either out in reception, having a chat, or going back and to from the hotel or wherever.
Yeah, it's nice to see him. That's the epitome of a good team spirit.
Yeah. So frame 11 is going to be India with Vic Mack to break off. Pulled out a great finish in his first frame in the first half.
Yeah, he was given a chance he shouldn't have been, but he took out some difficult balls to make it.
Yeah. He certainly needs to be taking out a great finish again in the second half of this match.
More than that, he needs to be putting a ball.
Yeah, unfortunately he hasn't. I mean, amazing really, all those 7 yellows in the bottom half of the table. In fact, probably below the black spot, which takes some doing.
Yes.
Difficult really to know what he's going to want to take here, Pat. He's got the two reds that are slightly awkward together at the top right hand corner. So one doesn't go past the other, so there's a little bit of a nudge required there to develop one of them. No, he's opted for yellows. Can he see the yellow along the bottom rail into the right hand corner?
Yeah, this is a strange finish to be sort of all the balls in a line.
Yeah,
People
and that's
practice
why I thought reds were probably the better option there. So all them yellows are together. You see there, Matt O'Hara, one of the unused reserves in this Ireland team this time.
Yes, I mean, it's a reflection of how well they've done. He's actually got a winning record in the group stages, and he still hasn't managed to even get on as a reserve in the final.
Sensible shot there from Moorhall. Not quite sure he's taken the full pocket there. It was a sensible shot there from Pat Morehouse. Just not quite sure he's taken all of that pocket.
It's also not clear whether that yellow pot's in the bottom left-hand corner pocket or whether the red is obstructing.
I think gives Vic a chance just to develop those two reds. Oof. Well, I'm not sure that was the right way to develop him. One, that he's knocked the ball safe-ish, and two, he nearly went in off. There's a little bit of a, I don't know, not quite sure that was the shot.
That was an unusual shot.
Just play one onto the other and, you know, just move them out so they can pot, and he leaves the cue ball on the top rail and puts Pat in a little bit of difficulty.
I mean, he's been unlucky to get it off, but that's exactly the kind of position when you play a snooker escape into that kind of spot where you're always slightly worried you might glance off the ball.
Yeah. That's a superb shot there. He's covered that bottom left-hand corner pocket now, and he's pretty much taken control of this frame with that one great shot.
I think he may even have angled Vic. I mean, if it can see the red top right, it might be worth having a go at it, but I'm not sure he can.
I think he's just having a look where he wants to leave the cue ball, so maybe he can see this. Oh no, he's missed that by quite a way. But the speed he played at, I don't know whether he was just trying to leave the cue ball at the top end, but
Yeah, he may just have been trying to clear the red away from that corner.
But what he's done now is put a red safe on the side rail above the middle pocket.
Yeah, I mean, this is not an attractive position to be reds because all but one of the yellows goes immediately and there's no time pressure whilst that red's there.
Yeah. And the beauty is, while he's got the one on the bottom right-hand corner pocket, Pat Morehouse can use the one over the left could pot that and move the red out. Oh, he's opted to take that one, so that's obviously not the plan. Again, he's still got options to knock that red out in potting that other yellow, either by a plant or a straight shot.
Yeah, and it's going to be a long route back for Vic Mac from here. You can go for the aggressive option and go for clearance here, or it doesn't have to. He can just develop the yellow over the left-hand side if he wants. He doesn't ideally want to let India back to the table if he can help it, but no point going for anything unnecessary either.
I think he's playing the plant here to get the red out. Oh no, he hasn't. He's played the double move.
I don't know if I don't disagree with the shot, just getting that yellow out. I don't know if I'd play it that hard.
I think it's the speed he's played at. Yeah, if he's playing for the double, just play it, to get out in the table. And I mean, the cue ball there, you see how close it's finished in the middle pocket. Anything could have really happened there.
Well, if you just play the yellow dead weight, then even if you miss the double, it's still going to be somewhere around the middle of the table.
Yeah. As it is now, top of the table, stuck to a red. And some more work still to be done. Maybe Pat Morehouse, although he's been around the team for quite a while, still a young man, and maybe just that little bit of youthful exuberance, we'll call it, or
yes,
a little bit of youthful inexperience. Don't know. He's just. He'll be all smiles if he takes this frame, but he might live to regret that shot a little bit.
Well, he had a good chance in his first frame and lived to regret that and managed to throw it away. Got the best stats of any of the Irish lads in the first group stage, doesn't he, Patrick Moorhead?
Yeah. Yeah, in terms of percentage wins, 74%. That's right up there with some of the best players. There's only a couple of the England boys got better stats than that. Ben Flack, Carl Sutton. Pretty much on par with the top two Australians, James Delahunty. Nearly 80%. though. That's a heck of a win percentage at this level.
Yeah, well, given the opponents you're going to be playing, you're not even going to get a shot in all of those, Frank.
No.
Now, the question is, can he pop this yellow, or at least get it over the pocket? Well, that's pretty good, as long as that red doesn't spoil the party. Well, that's okay. Still pop the yellow bottom right.
Huge shot coming up though. He's just seeing there. He's going to cannon into that yellow. It looks fairly relaxed there. A little smile to himself.
Looks surprisingly relaxed given the situation. I think he's got to play this in a positive way. It's too difficult a shot to be trying to drop in really slowly, I think.
I think the thing is, even if you can just, get it 3 or 4 inches off the bottom rail, the yellow here. Oh, he's not. I think that's what he's tried to do.
Well, if he's on this, that'll be fun.
Do you know what? I think he might have just got away with that.
Well, this is pretty good. He can power this in with the top and right-hand side, get on choice of yellows. Ideally the one along the rail, or if not the one over the pocket.
I think he takes the one to the right corner, then the one to the left corner, and all he's got to do is just concentrate. Oh no, he hasn't. He's come for that one. I was just saying all he'd have to have done is concentrated on the pot. If he'd just dabbed the one in over the yellow, over the left-hand corner, he could have finished just above the red, really straight. All he's got to do is concentrate on the pot.
Yeah, he had such a good angle there, but he fell into the same trap that we've seen several times today, with people trying to play with check side. That just doesn't grip enough off the cushion.
Just got to be a bit careful here. He doesn't finish snookered. That red that we can see there between the black.
Well, the advantage of playing it that way was that was a missable pot, and if he missed it, it wasn't so bad this way around. Whereas if he pots the other one first, it's game over.
Yeah, which is fair enough. No, that doesn't help Vic Mac at all.
He popped that very quickly as well. It wasn't a straightforward shot to think about.
Yeah, I think he's just tried to bump it maybe off the cushion and just rest it on the black. and he's not played that very well at all. So Pat Morehouse, another opportunity to take Ireland within one frame of the World Team Final. It's a race to 8 here at the Imperial Hotel in Blackpool, part of the Hotel Collection. It's been the home of these championships now for the last 10 years. Look, you see the Irish, well, Sean Sharkey there looking very relaxed.
Yeah, don't they look different? The Indians, when they were 4-1 up, were laughing and joking, and the Irish looked like they were at a funeral, and now it's completely swapped around.
Interesting. Just not play with this with the rest. Nicely executed there. Well, they might need it again, actually. Stretching the full length of the table. You see there, one or two of the Indians looking on pensively now.
Yeah, it really feels like it's slipping away, doesn't it? They're in such a good position. You can't quite see where the comeback's coming from. I feel like this match has been more about the Irish either way. It started out with the Irish giving away chances, and then it's ended with them taking chances. It feels like India were kind of almost being responsive to what Ireland did.
And the Blacks down. Pat Morehouse celebrates. It's now 7-4 to Ireland.
It's 7-4 to Ireland, and it's 6 in a row.
Carl said earlier on that's been their song all week.
Yes. That half-time rendition has obviously turned their fortunes around.
Here's Dave McQuillan now, Ireland captain. Can he propel his team into yet another world final? And there on several occasions, won the title 3 times, but it's been 5 years, and it will have been 5 long years in Irish pool since they've been able to capture that title and lift the trophy. In that time, England have dominated. One blip against Morocco. You see there, Carl O'Donoghue pumping the team up. He's excited. McQuillan, stony-faced.
Yeah, he's a little more reserved than some of his teammates.
Yeah, definitely so. I'm sure there'll be a lot of Irish support back in Ireland watching this. You know, certainly I think the Fay family have been deeply involved in Irish pool for a long time. Frank, he was here, I think he was the under-23 manager this week, having done the junior manager's job before. McQuillan's lost the cue ball here. So Ronan Fay's been part of this Ireland team before, and Kieran Fay part of the juniors as well. So big pool family. And I'm hoping that in-off from Dave McQuillan doesn't cost the team a frame.
He looked a bit nervy towards the end of his first frame, like under birdie, but he managed to hold himself together and got the frame on the board.
Neither colour's exactly easy here. You've got the 2 yellows that are stuck together, just to the left of the black, and you've got the 2 reds. He's opting to go for yellows here.
Yeah, this is certainly not straightforward. I mean, those 2 together don't pot, and they're not in the most straightforward position to knock out, because if you knock into them from this side, which is all you can really do, you risk knocking them even safer.
Yeah, you're just looking at putting them on the side rail, so the only option potentially is if when he pots the one, if he pots the one at the bottom left, that could come off the bottom rail and run into him, but he's not leaving himself on anything, or guaranteeing to leave himself on anything there, so. Yeah, he just never looked comfortable on that. Just never looked comfortable at all.
Well, it was almost like he was thinking ahead. That wasn't particularly the difficult shot, but I think he knew deep down that there was some trouble to come.
Yeah. It was never easy. I think he should have been really looking to take control of this bottom corner pocket.
Yeah, there's no point going for a clearance you're not going to make. It just leads you into more trouble later on.
Yeah.
I don't think Dave will be unhappy to be reds here. It was pretty marginal at the beginning what was the best suit to go for, and the reds are better spread out now than the yellows are.
I think he's got an option here. If he come down the table, he could look to take the bottom left-hand corner pocket, I think, which is what he's going to do now. He covers the one that's near it and the two that are above it. So he puts him in complete control of the frame then. All he's got to do is play a shot there to develop those two reds, and
Yeah, if he is going to do that, he's going to have to be a bit careful here, because if he clips the red into yellow, he could easily pot it. He's going to maybe have to play it off the other jaw. I mean, he could go for a clearance here, but the two reds at the bottom right are going to need a bit of work.
the referee there in the middle, George Bradbury, for this match. Experienced official, been around the game for a long time, from Staffordshire, heavily involved in Staffordshire Pool Association. Oh, he's opting to go for this. Well, you almost feel like the way he's potted that, he's going for a finish here, but...
Well, yeah, I felt he might, but I'm not sure. I wasn't expecting him to do that if he potted it. The position seems a little awkward now.
Yeah, because maybe if he hadn't run so far through, he could have been cutting the bottom one of those two reds into the right-hand corner pocket, develop the other red out. He's got the one up the table he almost certainly would have left himself on. So, interesting choice of shot there, Dave McQuillan.
He's now a bit committed to this, because there isn't really an obvious safety from where he is.
He's missed that. So, another chance. Look, been the birdie.
People have really struggled with the middle pockets. We've seen a lot of people trying to drop things in from that kind of angle today. It's not proved easy. Not that this is perfect yet. It's still the same problem with the two yellows, but much easier to develop now. There's a lot more space to work around. But how does he start? Does he take one of these? There are two thin clips he could try.
Jamie Kitchen there, one of the Northern Ireland players. Very experienced. Again, plays a lot of his pool in England. Been on the Irish Northern Ireland team for quite a while now.
Got slightly awkward action to look at, hasn't he? He sort of stands up midway through the shot.
I think he was trying to develop those two yellows then. It really was, because I don't see the value in what he's just done now. Because obviously there's a yellow that doesn't go bottom right, it only goes pretty much bottom left, or would go right middle. And as you say, people have been having trouble with those middle pockets.
Yes. I mean, you've actually got quite a good angle to drop on the furthest yellow to the right, but that still doesn't solve the problem with the two yellows together.
He's gone to and he's lost it. He's gone to develop. He's missed them both. 2 visits, Dave McQuillan. And is that the end for India?
Oh, surely can't see Dave McQuillan missing with 2 visits from here.
And the thing is, now that yellow isn't over the bottom left-hand corner, Dave McQuillan's 2 reds, he can take one into the left-hand corner, probably the top one, when he pops one down the right-hand corner.
Well, and
the other one then goes
bottom
right.
He's got this red down the bottom right to get on them. So
that's it. That was always there, but with having the yellow that was over the corner pocket, I didn't understand why he potted that. There was no value in potting that ball. That was actually stopping, say, Dave McQuillan getting the red into the other corner. So it's really about second half of this match has been about India making mistakes and Ireland capitalising. Not quite the dominant performance we expected, having seen them 13 out of 13 in the group stage. And what's he played there?
I don't understand why he's anywhere near that.
Well, I think he's snookered himself. I think he's snookered himself on all 3. Unless he can get between the 2 yellows, we can't quite tell from that angle. But what was he doing then?
Surely the shot is to do exactly what we've just said and play down the right-hand side of the table.
Yeah, it was to take the red down the rail here.
Has he just got into that far too much? I mean, he's overhit that by almost 6 foot from where he wanted to be. I mean, the slight saving grace is that if he can play a legal shot here, well, in fact, the second saving grace is that he's not that red on into the middle, I think. I was going to say, at least he's got a shot to set it up, but if he can drop this one in the middle and then be on the one along the cushion, this is going to be a real bonus.
Yeah. I mean, this is a tough finish. He's got to knock that in with a little bit of pace to stun over.
Well, that's a lovely angle. He's dropped on it with just a touch of angle going the right direction.
The problem is he's got stun over here. There, you see, he's done. Oh, he's missed it. And that's what I'm saying. You've got to hit it with pace, and by hitting it with pace, it makes it far more missable.
Hit that a little hard. He's got straighter on the red than he needed to. Really, it'd been better leaving a bit more angle. Well, this has been a catalogue of errors. These two. Well, not just errors, but they're trading unusual shots. It's just hard to understand what they're thinking.
Yeah. You just make feeling. Obviously, the pressure's getting to them. Dave McQuillan, captain, trying to lead his side over the line. You know, making sure it doesn't go any further this match. And look, Vinder knowing that one mistake potentially could cost his team a place in the final. But he's made 2 or 3 mistakes in this frame, and he's still not out of it.
Well, he's still not out of it, but frustratingly for him, given that miss, he's still not right in it because he's still got the 2 yellows together.
Now, is he going to hit a rail? Oh, the pace of the table saved him there. This table is quite pacey, but...
Well, he can't possibly have been playing it like that, surely.
No, I'm not quite sure. The only thing I'm thinking he's played there, if you see where he's finished on that yellow, he can cut that yellow into the bottom right and develop the 2 yellows, but it's a real low percentage shot because he's trusting to a massive amount of luck that he's going to finish on one of them when he breaks them out. So another chance for David McQuillan to see this match out.
Well, it's not simple, but he's got an angle to get up and down. He's going to have to travel a long way with the cue ball, but if he can drop somewhere down the left-hand side... Oh, he's getting a bit wide.
Again, is he finishing with those 2 yellows? We can't quite say, he's okay.
Well, that is okay. The position's a little bit difficult because he can't just... I don't think he can quite just drop it in dead weight, but that's not bad.
I think he needs to stun this in and try and leave himself a little bit closer to this red. He's already missed it once into that same middle. Oh, he's got too much into that. Oh, he's had a little bit of luck there. Left himself a nice angle on that red to go round the angles. Top cushion, right hand side, and the black into the bottom left for a place in the World Team Final. So this 8 ball, bottom left corner pocket. It's there, and Ireland have reached the World Team Final once again. Great performance in the end, little stutter at the end from the captain Dave McQuillan, but they're there, and where they will wait to meet the winner of England and Australia, who are up next on our live streaming.
Wow, how do you like that for a game of 2 halves? At one stage, India 4-1 up, looked like it was absolutely theirs to lose, and lose it they did. Ireland storming away with 7 consecutive frames to win 8 frames by 4. 8 frames to 4. I mean, it struck me, Sean, it's that one just before the mid-session interval. They could have gone 5-2 down, and they went 4-3 instead.
Yeah, we talk about big turning points in these matches sometimes, and I think if Steve Singh takes out 5-2, all right, the Irish have got the spirit, they've got the talent, but it puts that little bit more pressure on it. 1 frame in it's nothing, 4-3, and they've got the momentum. They've come from 4-1 down. They've taken the last couple of frames 4-3, and they've carried that momentum into the second half. You know, all right, a little bit of a stutter there, as I said, by Dave at the end, Dave McQuillan, but it was a solid performance in the end, and it's some of the pool that's got them to, this World Final.
Yeah, as we were saying earlier, they won 13 out of 13 to get here, 14 out of 14 now. What price won more? I mean, they're going to be, if they play like that, they're going to be a tough test for England, but they've got to play like they were towards the end, not like they were at the beginning.
Well, I think it'd be a tough test for England or Australia, by the way, because I think Australia have got a lot to say about this. Who else is going to be in the final?
Yes, I'm jumping ahead, thinking
England
are always in the final.
And I'm sure some of those viewers in Australia are not going to be too happy with that.
That wasn't a reflection of...
No, either team gets through, they know they're in for a tough battle against the Irish side. That is probably the strongest side I've seen from Ireland almost ever. I know they've won the title in the past with one or two real quality players, but that is a quality Ireland side. And they've got some quality young players in there, the likes of Sean Sharkey, Pat Morehouse, people who are talented coming through. You've got the balance, the experience of Dave McQuillan, Robert Brady, the Hock brothers. They've been around the game a long time in Ireland. Real tough battlers, and I think they're going to take some beating.
They certainly are, and a real team spirit. You can still hear behind us all the celebrations going on. Really cohesive team unit. Next up, as we say, we've got England against Australia. I certainly wasn't intending to forget that Australia will be playing a major part in this. We'll be bringing that at around 9 o'clock this evening in about half an hour's time. We hope you can join us then.
All right, mate. Good.
Well done.